siendo actriz desde hace muchos años y sin embargo nunca sintiéndose en su lugar. Entonces ella decide simplemente de crear su propia productora de cine y hacer sus propios proyectos únicos. Esta es la historia que viene a contarnos hoy Michelle Martin. Y le damos la bienvenida a Michelle. Hey Michelle, how are you? Thank you for being here in Find Your Way with Dana today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I welcome the conversation.
So much. We are so happy to hear about your story. How do you start as an actress and how you decide to create your own production and networking and become the leader that you are right now in this industry, trying to highlight projects from very small and very few, but you want to produce her and making out there and making known by the whole world. Tell us more about how you create all this on your own.
Well, first of all, I don't think any of us create anything on our own, but I am a resilient little thing. I always say where there's a will, there's a way. And first of all, I wasn't an actor. I was very, very little, 9 years old, and I accompanied a friend of mine to an audition. And I was very shy. I was very shy. And I fell in love with acting immediately. They asked me to audition. I got a role. And I toured with the Children's Theatrical Company. And I just loved the stage. I loved theater. And I worked a lot. So it was so fulfilling artistically for me to be a part of a group. And I've always loved, group think and to be able to come together. But at some point, you start auditioning for television and film and that kind of thing, and they kind of want to put you in a category, which the issue with me is I'm biracial. A lot of things, I don't really fit into categories. So I looked very, very young, and so it was difficult for me. So I was part of a theater group as well, and long story short, a few of my friends, we decided to get together and create some of our own work. And at the end, my production partner, Charles Huddleston, and I were all that's left. I was in London, and I had a great idea. I was studying there, and I had a great idea to adapt Henrik Ibsen's A Doll's House. So that's kind of where it started. We adapted A Doll's House, and then we just kept going from there with small projects until we could get A Doll's House done, and that's what we've been doing. So we did our little film, Blue, and I directed my first film, Howl. Also, I've done a lot of work also just as an actor in other people's projects, but my passion is creating the kind of projects that I would want to be in and that have something to say and that other women would benefit from as well.
Well, that is a very amazing story. So basically, because you don't feel like you went really in a category, and Hollywood, when always put you in a category, you decide to create your own thing, to create the projects that are really calling your soul and your heart. And it is a beautiful experience, but I suppose very difficult as well. What are the kind of problems that you have to overcome to create this production and to do what you really want to do, what it was calling your soul?
How much time do you have? Oh, gosh. Well, there are many, many roadblocks that people, of course, as a woman or as a human being on this planet that are set up for you. And I don't know. I think now I look at every problem. I know this sounds very positive and very Pollyanna, which I am. But I think that I approach problems now as lessons. And so I think, hey, that didn't work last time. What can I do to better myself, to help other people understand what it is I'm trying to do and include them, make them part of the process. And I found that for me, was a way to overcome a lot of issues and a lot of problems, was to be inclusive. But yet still have a very clear idea of who you are and what you want to put out into the world, and to stick with that. I don't think it takes a lot. I think it just takes a passion and a very specific vision. Yeah.
You're telling us about how important it is to have goals and how to work with others and put it also in your project to create something that is amazing. We always need other human beings to help us to go through and overcome our difficulties in life. So if I understand well, your new production is not only about your dreams and about what you want to do for yourself, it's also about how you can help and be open to others to understand what you really want and to help you in that way and help themselves to overcome their own fears, basically, and work with you and create something beautiful together. It's an amazing and a very powerful messages that you are delivering here today, Michelle.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Gosh. Well, I find people who inspire me. You inspired me. I met you, and here you are, overcoming so many odds and doing it anyway. And I think if I can impart anything on people, women especially, there's no good time to start. There's no perfect time for anything. So you just have to jump. Fear, you were right, absolutely, to talk about fear, and I have fear, we all have fear. Every day I wake up with fear, but I do it anyway. And I think that really inspires other people, I hope. It inspires me to see people who are working through their fears. And I guess the most difficult thing is to have people understand what it is that you're doing, because no one is going to completely understand what you're doing besides yourself and maybe a few people closest to you. But if you can help anyone along the way, I think that's a gift, not only to them, but I look at that as a gift to myself. My family started with very, very little, and everyone needs help. I realize that. I am a kind of go get 'em, do it myself kind of person, but absolutely, you're correct. We all need to help one another in this business. So now, if people ask me, I always answer. I always try to do the best I can. If I don't know, I say I don't know. If I can help them, I do. That's it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, because I think you are a woman, that kind of woman who are always supporting others, and you also love supporting women. And thank you so much for saying that I'm a person that really inspired you, because it really touched my heart to be, nobody, and be in front of you and feeling like I really give you something is very important also for my calling and my heart and my soul. So thank you so much for that. And I believe that everyone has fears, as you say, and the most difficult thing in this life life is what about? It's about lessons. It's about how do you react for the haters, or how do you react when certain situations escape on your own hands, and just have to deal with what is in front of you. Can you tell us maybe more about that? How do you cope with rejection and with fears and with the no's and with everything that we don't really want, with the haters, for example?
Right. Well, I try to lead with love. And I think that each person is going through their own journey and we're all in different places in our journey. And I really try very hard from the bottom of my heart to look at that person who is, hating that kind of thing. And I'm very, very lucky that the people surrounding me and even my fans on social media are so encouraging to me, and I'm encouraging to them. I think being able to choose the kind of people that you want to surround you is probably one of the most important things you can do in this life. And then you deal with a lot less hate. But have I dealt with it? Yes, of course. I've heard all kinds of things. I've had, you know, all kinds of my representation tell me, you're this, you're that, you'll never be this, you'll never be that. And I don't know why it never really got through to me inside. Inside, I always knew that it's okay, I have it. And I had enough encouragement, thank goodness, and that's why I give other people a lot of encouragement, because I had enough encouragement from a few people in my life that meant the world to me. Sir Ben Kingsley came aboard A Doll's House. He saw the importance of a story about women that took place a very, very long time ago, of course, when Ibsen wrote it. But he saw that this is an important story for our generation right now, for young women right now who are making choices. So I guess I make my choices from a place of passion. And I always think there's a movie quote saying, if you build it, they will come. And I believe if you do it with complete conviction and passion, the right people will find you and you will find them. And people like Ben Kingsley and Julian Sands, who came aboard our first project, which was based on Massick's Venus and Furs, called Venus in 202. It's out right now. And I don't know, I just gathered the kind of people that I thought, I want to work with that person. That person excites me, what they're doing. I've always admired, that human being in one way or another, not necessarily just as an actor, but as a person. And you think, these are the people, these are my tribe, these are my people, these are the people I'd like to gather. So I most recently talked to a woman I admire very much, Joanna Gleason. She won a Tony for Into the Woods and has starred in many, many films, theater, television. And she was telling me, you're still young, very young. And I tell people, always have a backup plan. She said, but with you, I'm not going to tell you that. And it's just been those little moments of someone saying, you have it, keep going, that have kept me going. Because there are a lot of moments you do feel down and you don't see another way to come out of it, to keep going. And I just think of those people as angels. So if I can be that in anyone's journey, I try to be that also. I hope that answered
Oh my God,
question.
thank you for your words, because you're absolutely right. I believe it's more than angels. I believe that the universe and even God, for those who believe in God, they gave you the difficulties, but they all gave you the people who are there just to say that in a few seconds, something that is going to bring you up and is going to help you just to move and continue, right? And it's very difficult because it's very powerful what you just said before, because you were saying about the fact that if you believe in yourself and if you are your true self, but your tribe, your people, we find you and will follow you and we help you to build wherever you're meant to build, because it's part of your calling. And I believe we forgot that. We are so restrained with our own fears and emotions and the past bad experience that we focus so much on that we almost lose the way just to find ourselves again. And it's only when we find ourselves again and we really know each other and accept who we are that we are capable to transmit that to others. And it's important to remind that to the audience. Thank you for sharing this with us today, Michelle.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I adore you, and you are someone that I've known for a little time, but I look up to you. Already I look up to you. I see what you're doing as it's beautiful, and I'm in any way, if I can put that out into the world, I want to. So thank you.
For being here. Thank you for expressing yourself and for sharing with us how important it is to live with gratitude and love, and what is exactly what you're doing. So thank you, and see you very soon, because we want to know everything about your project, especially Dollhouse with Sir Ben Kingsley, who is also in this project with you and who is pushing for this, and we are so proud and so happy. And this is your house, so you feel welcome every time you want to come here and to share all the wise things that you are and you're incarnating here with us. Thank you.
Oh, gracias, muchas gracias. Thank you so, so much.
See you soon, Michelle.
Why? Because I'm Latina.
Of course, we are Latinas.
We are
I mean, you're
Latinos.
beautiful. That's why you're. Okay. See you soon, Michelle. And I have to let you go because we have very little time. But thank you for sharing all this with us today, because it's important. We need to remember how important it is to accept ourselves and to believe in ourselves. Okay. See you soon, Michelle.
Bye.
Y estuvimos justamente hoy con Michelle Martin, que no solamente es una persona maravillosa, sino que también vino a compartirnos la importancia que es de aceptarse a uno mismo. Y cuando se aceptas y te amas a ti mismo, pues puedes justamente encontrar tu camino, porque vas a encontrar alrededor las personas que te van a ayudar, que van a creer en ti. Acuérdate, cuando crees en ti, los demás van a creer en ti. Y ámate, porque nadie más te amará tanto como te puedes amar a ti mismo. Esto fue Encuentra tu Camino con Dana. Yo soy Dana Bunel y estamos en tu canal RTD Internacional. Suscríbete, por favor, en nuestras redes sociales y en YouTube, en Facebook e Instagram, para nunca perderte ningún episodio de este tu programa. Y te digo hasta la próxima semana. Adiós.
Hola, buenos días. Soy Carlitos Belville. Te espero en mi tienda en Belville. Ubicada en París 10, Metro Belleville, 135, Rue des Faubourgs du Temple. Gracias.
Hola, soy Francinet García y te estoy invitando a nuestro estudio de belleza. Estamos ubicados en el centro de Chatillon. Aquí podrás encontrar diferentes tratamientos en cuidado facial, corporal, micropigmentación de cejas y de labios. Puedes contactarnos a través del 0611-727432. 0611-727432. Recuerda que aquí en Francinet García Brows Studio, tu belleza es nuestra prioridad.